When you go missing.
Nice. That's a side objective.
I said I'm not going to come looking for you if I go missing. So, sorry, I can't help you with that.
Fine, that was not smart.
That's not good. They spot me.
No, you're good.
Good back here. You might be able to jump down here. I think it's safe from down here.
But don't we want the upper ground?
They have rifles and shotguns. We got crossbows.
Can you come down?
Pop down here. It doesn't kill us. Good. Hurry before they see you.
I see
Zombies
you.
behind this wall. Maybe we could sneak to the right. Oh, zombies to the right here. Just trying to think where we gotta go. Where we gotta go back.
As you'll find another guy.
Oh, I can throw the middle. Maybe take out these zombies here.
I see you.
Alright, this is where the bandits are. One of them has right here with a huge
I
metal
can
shield.
still see you.
Here. We have to go this way. Pick a lock right here.
I see you.
They're moving.
Get back.
I can see you. I can still see you.
I think you're coming up to us.
I can still see you.
They know we're here.
That's off the broken. Okay, go out.
Oh, big riot shield guy at the front gate.
Yeah.
He's not moving. He's not coming out.
News here this Friday night, the Pentagon now admitting the deadly drone strike in the last days of the U.S. withdrawal from Kabul was a, quote, tragic mistake. 10 civilians, including 7 children, killed in the blast. Here's our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz.
Tonight, the U.S. military admitting to a horrific mistake that left 7 innocent children and 3 innocent adults, including an aid worker for an American company, dead.
I offer my profound condolences to the family and friends of those who were killed. Our investigation now concludes that the strike was a tragic mistake.
The deadly attack came just 3 days after a suicide bomber killed 13 American service members and some 170 Afghans at the Kabul airport. The Pentagon said intelligence indicated another attack was imminent. So for 8 hours, U.S. drones then followed a car they thought had linked up with ISIS-K. Officials say when the driver loaded the vehicle with what they thought were explosives, a Hellfire missile was launched. Even days later, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs supported the strike.
We had very good intelligence that ISIS-K was preparing a specific type vehicle at a specific type location, and it was a righteous strike.
But it was this New York Times investigation that first called the strike into question. The driver of the car was identified as Zamri Ahmadi, an aid worker who they determined from this surveillance video was loading water canisters into the car with his colleagues, not explosives. Today, the Secretary of Defense also acknowledged the mistake, saying, "We now know that there was no connection between Mr. Ahmadi and ISIS-Khorasan, that his activities on that day were completely harmless and not at all related to the imminent threat we believe we face."
And Martha, I know the U.S. military is still promising a full investigation on this. The other major headline involving the Pentagon tonight, we heard from General Mark Milley on something else today as well. His first public comments about his calls to the Chinese in the final days of the Trump presidency, trying to convince them the U.S. Would not carry out military action. The general defending those calls?
He is, David. He says those calls to his Chinese part were perfectly within the duties and responsibilities of his job, saying those calls are routine and are done to reassure both allies and adversaries. In this case, he said, in order to ensure strategic stability. And David, he said he will mount a vigorous defense when he's before Congress at the end of the month. David?
Martha Raddatz here on Friday night. Thank you, Martha.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
There we go. I found a gear.
Okay, I put this gear on. Okay, we need a chain.
I got it. I got the chain.
Okay.
There's no more bandits, so I'm gonna loot while we can here.
All right. We're gonna turn this big body where it's on the edge of blowing up all day.
saying there are 6 IEDs laid on the road. One of their Humvees got hit by a mine about 300-400 meters back there. So they're walking along this ditch. They're saying there are also mines here, so we've got to watch very still. Trying to stay in there.
Another.
Yeah? Can you tell the ground is disturbed?
Yeah.
That was it, right. These policemen are trying to reach an army base that's surrounded by the Taliban. They want to retrieve the body of a soldier killed 4 days earlier, so they can give him a proper burial. It was too dangerous to continue, so they headed back to the base. Even though they knew the Taliban placed at least 6 IEDs on this stretch of road, the police decided to drive slowly towards the army base. Dismantling each IED as they went. So he's trying to either detonate or expose a mine using that very long stick. This is the independent, able, fully equipped Afghan security force we left behind.
I am going outside. I am a fucking mother Taliban. I am fucking sister Taliban. You understand?
As they discuss how to proceed, bullets hit the Humvee we were walking alongside. We inched along the road while one man, crawling on his belly, dug up the IEDs with his bare hands. He has training in EOD?
Yeah, not too much.
He pulls the jug full of explosives to the side of the road and separates it from the pressure plate designed to detonate it. So this is a pressure plate IED, 2 pieces of wood put together like that. Metal, not quite touching, almost touching. Plastic to make it waterproof. And when something goes on top and pushes the two together, the 2 bits of metal connect. It completes the circuit. There's a power source on one end and a detonating charge on the other, which is attached to the yellow jugs full of explosives. And that's what sets it off. And they're pressure plates, so you need to put a lot of weight on top of it to set it off. But still, doing it barehanded with no retrieving. Too brave.
Yeah.
Put that up.
Really?
Why are you messing my screwdriver? Put that back.
Taliban
Take that off of there.
killed
Put
his
it back.
mothers. 6 men before in Greshks. Now he is so.
Thank you. Don't mess with my
It
screwdriver.
was then I
Leave me
realised I
alone.
had met this man before, almost 2 years ago. Even then, he seemed lucky to still be alive. This is very close to your heart. It went
Very lucky. One time in ID, you see?
this was shrapnel.
Yeah, yes.
You're lucky to be alive.
One time, bullet here is out here. 6 time I injured. 7th time maybe finish.
Yeah. Hopefully there will be no second time. Hopefully. After dismantling all 6 IEDs, they finally reached the base.
That's all you gonna have. Right?
Outside were the remains of a rickshaw that had just been blown up by another IED. You're too brave. You'll get killed. You have to be careful.
My family is finished. Everything finished. Just me, maybe die.
He told me what happened to his wife just 3 weeks before we arrived.
Acá طالبانو کې لاس تبلو دی ویلو چې دا چارواکي دي د کفر غلامان دي دا داسې تبلیغات کوي خبره چې کله د دې ځای څخه زما مېرمن تللې وه خپل د پلار کره تللې وه ماښام خپل د مور په غېږ کې بیده وه ابله اکا ورغلی و پنجه یې راخیستې وه 6 مرمۍ یې ویشتلې وه دی په تېښته بریالی سوی او دا ما دې ته پیغام دی چې ما دې د خدای ذات ووایي چې زه ژوندی یم چې هر رقم تاوان یې زه ورسوم ژوندی نه نیسم هڅه کوم چې ختم سم په دغه دولت کې دوی ته تاوان واول دوی ته تاوان ورسوم.
So this is an Afghan army unit who have been surrounded by the Taliban and cut off for 4 days. This is the first support they've had in 4 days. But they lost one of their guys who apparently
Da, balasha. Mandani posta aqui. Personal China kuna moral which is age gap. Kuna na chika je kana mutana. Ana how much is berkan there? List is لا شهيد ولا شهيد ميرا ثانيين. الله دې وبخښي پر دې چار چا توپک وونه خدای دې کور سره الله دې وبخښي دا اوس هغه نه دار That's Sandy Randy? خدای تعالی دې وبخښي د سپین الله دې آخرت سم کړي خدای تعالی دې دا عذاب وساتي د سپین قرآن.
That same morning, just 15 kilometers away, Taliban drove a Humvee laden with explosives into a police base, killing a local police chief and at least 14 others. Later that night, the police withdrew to one of the main HQs in Lashkar. The news was not good.
زموږ دغه سره په ارتباط کې اوس زموږ مامور صاحب وایي چې ټانګان دي چې د چا دیم نه معلومېږي چې د چا دي
دا کشمي خبره ده بس دې خبرې موږ ته کشمالي طالبان وایي چې مکه او علاق دغه شروع دي پکې واسطه ونیسي ګټه نه وایي دغه مقامات کې.
So the attack we saw today was from the north of the city. There was an attack later in the day from the west, and then he's listening to the Taliban on their radio. They've just launched an attack from the Kandahar gate, the east of the city. So in the space of less than 12 hours, 3 major attacks from 3 different directions around Lashkar. The next night, we saw the remaining security forces abandon the area.
یا کومه څنګه نه روان دي دا نو ورکی دوه ټانګې مې ورته ورکی اوس مو پولیس ته یو نفر سپور مایر غلو ته مې کښې درو هغه دوه ټانګې مې یې د بار نه ورکی وې ورونه اوس ګرته پر هغه سره باندې بال کړه ساج مو پاک کړل مې گزارش چې مې نو راوښله
This road is where we were yesterday. They did have Afghan army vehicles all along, but they, for some reason, have pulled back. It looks like they're abandoning the entire
Let's see
area.
what Bobby wants. Let's see what Bobby wants.
So, can you explain what just
Bobby's
happened?
calling for you.
نن
Baby.
بیا د اسمان ماجګر هغه پوسټ باندې تاسو
Let's
کې
see.
هغه پوسټ ټایپ کې کوم نشي وګړه چې دا یو ټیم دی و
No, you go
هغه
see.
سره کوم بیا یو لاس ورله هغه سره ورله مې گزارش کړ
And you're smiling slightly, but this must be very frustrating.
وازما لپاره ډېر دا تجربه شوې ده چې ټول عمر په دغه کې تقریبا 6 کال کې چې دې وځي تر څو زما لپاره عادي ده اوس
With the Afghan forces unable to stop the Taliban advance, civilians often have to take up arms to defend their home.